time for This Week in Clarksville. And now, here's your host, Stephanie Miller.
Welcome to This Week in Clarksville on this Thursday, January 5th. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. What do you get when a yoga instructor and student with a background in science partner up? A place of wellness with a cafe with some unique creations. Coming up, learn how Sanctuary on Main found a home in a historic building in the Main Street Historic District of Clarksville. And also learn what original pieces to the building remain. And then we step behind the bar to learn how two of the most popular beverages are created. After that, we head to Clarksville Collection in downtown Clarksville to find out why it's the unofficial welcome center to Clarksville. But first, let's check in with reporter Sherry Reeves to see what's making the wrap in this week's edition of Main Street Clarksville.
This is the wrap for the January 5th edition of Main Street Clarksville. The Clarksville Police Department is proposing the use of a license plate reader system, placing readers on state routes in order to assist law enforcement with the reduction of crime, including homicides, violent assaults, armed robberies, and carjackings. Local developers Rossview Farms LLC have announced the creation of Marcelina. It's a unique mixed-use development that will offer office, retail, schools, residential, and entertainment all in one community. Phase 1 is slated for a spring 2024 completion date. The Oak Grove Buc-ee's is out, and a Clarksville site is now under contract. The Visit Clarksville, Tennessee website announced a Buc-ee's Travel Center is slated to open at Exit 1. And we have photos of the second Clarksville Fire Rescue recruiting class of 2022 continuing their training. Read about how the trainees learn to rescue victims as they enter burning structures, facing the thick smoke and the suffocating heat. And that's the wrap. I'm Sherry Reeves, Main Street Clarksville.
Sherry, thank you. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we sit down with the co-owners of Sanctuary on Main, two women with a beautiful friendship. Find out from them why the visitors who come into Sanctuary on Main are such a big part of their business. We'll be right back.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners, and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
Hey, I'm John, one of the family owners here at the City Forum. Some people think I'm great at the games and attractions here, but I'm not. I'm fantastic. Your mom might want to pick that up. Go low with 18 holes of mini golf. Channel your inner Ricky Bobby on the go-kart track. Play in Clarksville's only 7D motion theater. 10 lanes of family fun bowling. Don't forget about our big birthday party rooms. So come on out to the City Forum and try to beat some of my high scores.
I asked you the life-changing question of, do you want to own a yoga studio with me? And we barely knew each other, and you said yes. And
without even doing my pros and cons list, which is unheard of.
That yes was just the beginning for Amanda Rush and Erica Wolf.
I just knew it was right. I saw the pictures from it from the outside, and honestly, I've lived here almost 30 years, and I don't think I ever saw this building in that entire time.
Well, and I grew up here. I mean, I was born and raised here, and I've never seen this building before.
Really?
And I used to go to that building across the street, and that was the public library. I don't ever remember seeing this building over here.
Oh, we darn.
Yeah, so she wasn't meant to be seen until that day when it popped up on my social media. We walked in here, I immediately was like, this is it, this is Sanctuary. And then when we walked out, my daughter saw that we were on Main Street, so she was like, Sanctuary on Main.
When she stepped into the building, she knew a cafe would also be a reality.
The venue, this had to happen. And of course, my team at that time, they were all looking at me like, absolutely not. Because the building was dark, dingy, old floors, holes in the floor, old windows, you know.
The windows were just boarded up.
What a transformation. One that brought this historic building back to its roots. Rush shares that the building, built in 1831, was originally meant to be a church.
So it's always been a sanctuary. And then it was a field hospital during the Civil War. So it's just amazing how it all came together, and we didn't even know it. So when you walk in our front door and you look into the cafe, we have a wall that's just open with no drywall on it. Those are the original 2x4s, hand cut in the 1800s. So we decided to leave that wall open so people can actually see those 2x4s.
At the beams here, I'm hoping to find the person that could tell me how old these two trees had to be, because we have two 40-foot beams up here. One's right above us, which is, I don't know, like 12 inches, 18 inches square. And I tried Googling it, like how old would a tree be to have this? And this is heart pine. And Google could only give me the answer between 200 and 500 years old. So if you add that on top of the age of the building, it's priceless wood, and it's been around for a really long time.
And that's what you'll find here. Time to connect, recharge, and find a little peace. Rush and Wolf both want people to feel a sense of community.
It just warms my heart, because it affirms to me that I and we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that we're, you know, like, it's that reminder we get to do this.
Yeah, and it's hard work. It's really hard work. And then there's some days for me that I get really discouraged, or I get second guess myself, where I'm like doubting. I'm like, is this really, you know, am I really doing, it's like, am I really making a difference? Is it worth it? And then I have somebody come in and it's just crying, and they come in and they say, thank you, because if I didn't have this place, I wouldn't have anything. And it's just days like that when people come in here, and it's like God is reminding me, or showing me, yes, you're in this space for this reason. And they prove it to me every single day. And every time I'm doubting myself or my mission or my purpose, I get a reminder.
We love looking for new things to do. She rolls her eyes at me half the time. She's like, oh, another thing. I'm like, yes, of course.
But no, that's needed. Like, we're polar opposites, obviously. But
yeah.
She's steering the ship, and I'm just hanging on, helping out.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. We are making our way back into this historic building that is home to Sanctuary on Main, and are visiting with the creator behind the drinks. I have Amanda Rush with us today. She is one of the co-owners. Amanda, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the science behind your beverages here at Sanctuary on Main.
So my background, I was a scientist in my previous life until I became a studio owner and a massage therapist and all that. And my business partner wanted to have a cafe in the shop, and I'm like, well, who are you going to get to run the cafe? And she's like, well, you could do it. I thought, well, I don't know anything about coffee or tea or anything like that. But I realized when I was being trained that it's the basic whole thing, concept of it is science. So depending on how fast or slow you pull an espresso shot, it will matter in the taste. So if it pulls too fast, then it's going to be like citrusy, acidic, and it's going to taste like a lemon. If it pulls too slow, you're going to get a burnt taste to it. So it really matters how you pull the espresso shot. So here at Sanctuary Maine, I try to make, all my baristas, I train them to be able to weigh out every single thing that we do. So we weigh the portafilter, which is this little guy here. So we weigh it on the scale, pull the espresso, put it in there, and then when we put the espresso cup up here to pull it, we actually time it.
Okay.
So if it times in the right amount of time, it'll taste pretty good. If it doesn't, then it's not going to taste very good. So we have a little window, like 40 to 60 seconds is our window. So if it doesn't pull in that time frame, I have them re-pull it.
No kidding.
Yeah, because it makes such a difference in the taste of the coffee. And who would have known, like, all of that? I didn't know it either. I was like, oh, this is neat.
I'm sure a lot of people out there don't realize this. Well, I want to talk about your drinks that you have on the menu, because you guys have unique drinks when it comes to coffee flavoring. I've had mainly coffee here because I'm a coffee fanatic, but it's very unique in the flavors that you pair together. How long did it take you to create this menu?
It took us all summer. The summer before we opened, we worked on it for months because we were waiting for our espresso machine to get plumbed, and that took a while. So we just worked on recipes that whole time. So it's really, at first we made our own syrups because it was just cheaper. But then we realized that you get a more organic flavor with making your own syrups, and they're really easy to make. But I just would ask people, what kind of flavoring do you like in your coffee? And we just came up with some really great flavor combinations. Honey lavender is our #1 bestseller.
So good.
Yeah, and then I don't know how we came across it, but I started doing some stuff with herbs. So we have a rosemary and sage latte that I also pair with the lavender, and we call it the herby, and that one's really good. It tastes like a Thanksgiving meal, I guess, if that's what you want your coffee to taste like. But it comes out really well. And then we make our own Irish cream syrup too.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that one is popular.
Talk to us about the trial and error, because surely you didn't right off the bat hit all of these drinks spot on the first time. Did you have any pairings that you said, absolutely not, we can't do this, this is horrible?
There's one that I cannot get right. Like, I got it right the first time, and it was a chocolate orange mocha. And it was so good, and I cannot recreate it. But it was so time intensive and labor intensive because I had to freshly squeeze all the oranges and then steep the orange peel, and just to make it in bulk, it didn't come through. So that one was a failure, and I'm really trying to figure out how to make that one work. And we tried a raspberry syrup at Valentine's Day, and that one didn't pull through either.
Bummer.
So yeah, some of them just don't work. The only one that we don't make in-house is our pistachio syrup.
Okay.
Because when I researched how you would make pistachio syrup, I'm like, oh no, that's going to take all day long. So we do buy the pistachio syrup, but everything else is pretty easy to make. But yeah, my raspberry syrup and my orange syrup did not
turn out
the way I wanted. But I'm still holding out hope for the orange because it's amazing when I get it right.
So are we. We are now holding out hope for that as well. Well, talk to us about the drinks you're going to prepare for us today. So she is going to do one cold beverage and then one hot beverage that is a non-coffee hot beverage.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes. So our biggest seller in the summer, and people just kind of went crazy for it and are really upset with me for taking it off in the fall, but it's a summer drink and it'll come back, is our honey lavender lemonade.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make that for you. And then we have people come in that don't really want coffee, or they just don't, or they've already had their coffee and they don't want any caffeine. So we do have a selection of hot teas that we can make iced or whatever, but we also carry a bloom powder, which is a superfood latte. So they're all coffee free. There's one that has some matcha in it, so it does have caffeine. But it's a powder that we mix with some syrup and water, and then steam some milk, and so it's a really good alternative to a coffee. And I think we're the only people in town that use this powder, so you can't get it anywhere else.
Well, can't wait to try this. So Amanda's going to walk us through how to make these beverages. We're going to see the process. She's going to talk us through that. And then I have the pleasure of tasting it at the end.
So we start with a cup of ice. We're going to use our honey lavender syrup. You probably can smell that lavender. So the syrup is heavy, so it's always going to drop to the bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll pour our lemonade in. And so it starts to do this like layering effect because of the gravity of the syrup that'll drop. This is butterfly pea flower tea. It's really dark, dark blue. It's almost black. And so this stuff's really cool because it creates a color change when it hits the acid of the lemon. So then you end up with this tricolored drink, and then you just take a stir stick and stir it, and then it all turns purple. And that's our honey lavender lemonade. This is going to be our beetroot bloom coffee-free beverage. So we start out with, this is our matcha bowl. So this is called the Earth Bliss. It's beetroot and ginger. So we'll measure out about 4 grams of powder.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, it smells good. And I tell the baristas you can just approximate how much goes in there. Ish is our favorite word. It's 4.0-ish. And then we're going to add about 20 grams of hot water. So I'm going to tear the scale out and just try to get as close to 20 as I can. Ish. And then I'm going to grab the simple syrup. So we put about 1/2 ounce of syrup in there. So it's nice and rich and red. And then I'm going to whisk this with the matcha whisk. So just try to get all of that powder to kind of dissolve. This one's really earthy. You probably can smell that too.
I can.
Yeah, it's really good. This one I'll drink in the summer over ice, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice and refreshing, and it's kind of like a dessert after a lunch for me.
So you can do hot or cold?
Yeah, you can do hot or cold. So I'll get that all mixed up. All right, and then we'll pour it in our cup. So it doesn't yield a lot of fluid, really. And this would be a smaller cup than what I would serve it in, but at least, I mean, it's clear so you can kind of see. And then we'll steam some milk for this. Grab some, do you have a almond?
Almond works for me.
All right, so pour a little bit of milk in here.
You're the expert in this. Do you tend to use almond in most of your hot beverages?
I do. I'm trying to watch what I eat, drink, and almond seems to be the healthiest of the milk alternatives, especially with sugar content. Usually we'll use a temperature gauge for this, but I think they're in the sink, so. So when you steam milk, you want it to look like wet paint with no bubbles. So that's pretty good. Then you just kind of pour it in, and it turns a nice pink color.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's nice and festive, especially during Christmas. We have done a little bit of a variation of this beverage. We add peppermint syrup to it sometimes, and then we call it Merry Blissmas because it's an earth bliss and it's got peppermint in it. So yeah, that's what we've done this year for this. So this one just has regular simple syrup in it.
So you guys just saw how Amanda made the honey lavender lemonade and then the earth bliss. Cannot wait to try this. I'm going to start with the hot one first. I don't want to say that is my cup of tea, but that is definitely bliss in a cup right there. I don't want to say tea because it's not tea, but this is heavenly. This is absolutely delicious. And a great way to step outside the box if you're not wanting that coffee drink at the end or even beginning of the day.
Right.
All right, now let's try the honey lavender. You will regret not ordering this if you come in here during the summertime. You will definitely, this is refreshing.
Yeah, it's really good.
And how many of these did you say that you typically go through?
Oh, I can't even count. Like, it's a crazy. We have people come in every day. Like, they come in for their daily honey lavender lemonade fix, and they're just so upset that I took it off the menu.
Luckily, spring and summer right around the corner.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to bottle it this year so they could just buy it out of the refrigerator.
That's a great idea.
I think what's going to happen. So they can get it here and take it home with them.
What else anything else in the works? What else are you working on right now, if anything?
I don't know yet. I'm still working on that orange mocha. I'm a Virgo, and
Me too.
Oh yeah, so I can't let it go. I gotta perfect it and put it on the menu. So that's my goal, is to get that orange one on.
We cannot wait to try that when you do get that perfected just right.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners, and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way. When flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage, it ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. My name is Brady McTamney, and this is your sports update. Several teams participated in holiday tournaments over the last week, with Clarksville Academy and West Creek coming out on top of their respective tournaments. Clarksville Academy girls played in Florida, coming out in first place there, while West Creek was up in Kentucky, and they got the top prize, going 3-0. The Clarksville Academy boys and Rossview boys also participated in a tournament at CPA, Christ Presbyterian Academy, with Clarksville Academy coming in 6th place and Rossview coming in 7th place out of 8 teams. That was the elite tournament, a lot of really good schools down there from all over the country, so very big building experience there for those teams. And of course, now basketball season really getting back into the swing of things as we get into a crucial stretch as teams begin district play this week and continue that on for the rest of the season here as they try to get postseason positioning.
At Miss Lou Steele's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lou Steele's. You'll be glad you did.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I am at a very unique store in Clarksville, downtown. It's Clarksville Collection. You can find pretty much anything local. If you want it about Clarksville, you will find it here at this store. 80% of all the items in here, local items. I have owner Jody Isaacs with me. First off, Jody,
thank you. It's mutual. I know.
Absolutely a jewel and such a gem here in Montgomery County.
Thank you.
First off, Jody, share your kind of vision for Clarksville Collection. And I say this because this particular store used to be what was known as Journey's Eye.
Yeah, that's it. So yes, Journey's Eye is taking a nap at the moment. And I had the Clarksville Collection over at the City Market. And so we decided to move it over into this brick and mortar, which fits it much better.
Right.
And the vibe of it. And so we have all our outdoor wear, and we're encouraging people to get outside and enjoy one another in the elements. And then we design and create most of these things here in Clarksville. And so we are just very excited about that. So we are an official souvenir shop, but we've included all this outdoor wear, and that part is growing, and it may someday be its own thing, but right now it works really well with the t-shirts and sweatshirts. And look at our new one. I love it.
That's super cute. I do like the look and lay of that sweater.
Yeah.
So Jody telling me 80% of what you will find in here is local. How do you find the artists who contribute to what you have here in the store?
Do you know, well, we've designed a lot of it ourselves.
Okay.
And so we had Taylor Walsh that was working with us. She's now moving on to other things. But she was a big designer, and she learned to do it while she was here, which was wonderful. And so she had a lot of input, and then we have our other local folks that will contribute. So we have some people here that actually print here and do their own designs, and so I purchase those designs from them.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. And those who are from Clarksville or Montgomery County have such a love for this city. It is such a beautiful place. Why was it important for you to have a shop that is Clarksville focused, hyper local?
Yes. I just can't even believe there really wasn't anything, but you know, the people are here now. And I think that it's timing, and but I noticed it the day I stepped foot here, and eventually it sort of blossoms into what it is. But hello, sweetheart. Hello, my angel. I just love it.
She knows anyone and everyone in this city.
I love it, and this is what makes my heart pump. Honestly, I just love it. But what was the question again?
The designation of kind of that welcome center.
Yes, well,
Clarksville.
that was one thing that I absolutely also noticed right from the start, is that we have beautiful writings, photographs, that sort of thing, and places to stop and pick up brochures, but there isn't the greeting. And what I was noticing in the days of Journey's Eye, that we had lots of people coming through, and they were just going to keep on going, but once you tell them some things to do, then they end up staying.
Very true.
And so we have the opportunity of having them for 2 or 3 days instead of a couple of hours.
You and your husband, you guys have pretty much created a lot of the items that are in here. Who are some of the other artists that you feature here?
Yes. So, well, one in particular, and she happened to just walk in too, Hannah Campbell, and she does an amazing job. We have linens and sotels and pillow covers, bags, and then of course all of her prints of her watercolors. She also has lots of things for kids too that are maybe homeschooled to learn about the outdoors, and she does an amazing job. But there are so many actually. Jewelry. I'm just trying. You have to look around, and then of course all of the prints and artwork. And one thing that is coming from a local gal that we've been working several months on.
I'm curious.
Yes, so it is the bird's eye view of a watercolor map of all of Clarksville. So it will be a souvenir piece as well as a useful where all the streets are and how to, which way is Nashville, Louisville, whatever. But it'll be a bird's eye view. I'm very excited about that. And so that will be in our hands hopefully by the end of January.
Absolutely wonderful. Is there anything else that I haven't asked that you would want to share?
Oh my gosh.
Or anything
Did I already talk about the destination? In the back, we have all the brochures as part of the Welcome Center.
Okay.
So brochures, we have snacks, we always have coffee and tea. People feel welcome. We have a chess set back there. People will come in and just relax. We'll set up a day trip for them. So that sort of a thing. But otherwise, this is really considered everybody's home away from home. If you find something you love that makes us happy, if you're just stopping in to say hello, that's just as nourishing. So,
Jody, thank you so much for all that information. So whether you're traveling through Clarksville, if you've just moved here, or you've been here a minute, and you really want to get that welcome feel, and you want to find out what's happening in Clarksville, you need that brochure, stop right here at Clarksville Collection. And we always talk about our local businesses. That's the heart of the city. Well, Jody and her husband and Clarksville Collection, they're a piece of that heart. So thank you for all that you do. Don't go anywhere. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
Thank you.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. It is the first Thursday of the month, so you know what that means. It is the first Thursday Art Walk happening tonight from 5 to 8. It really is a great time to mingle with our downtown local businesses as well as some of our local artists and musicians. And then tomorrow morning at 10:15, you have the Reading Roundup at the Wadeborn Nature Center. So this event is for the kiddos, so be sure to head on out, get there a little early. Again, it starts at 10:15. And then don't forget, a short drive will take you to the largest Chinese Lantern Festival in the States. That is happening at the Nashville Zoo. I'm talking about Zoolumination. That is running until February 4th. Again, thank you so much for joining us for This Week in Clarksville. I hope you have a blessed Thursday and an absolutely wonderful and safe weekend.
watching this week's episode of This Week in Clarksville. We'll see you next time.